Hey guys, I'm Elise Wong, and today I would like to share with you some things I wish I knew starting out as a self-taught artist. Some of these are also tips I wish to share with you, and I hope you find it helpful. Okay, you know that feeling when you see a talented artist's work and you figure out that they're self-taught? You just can't help but kind of go like, wow, you're self-taught? I mean, your work is amazing. You must be a prodigy. Yeah, I hate to break it to you, but most artists are not born gifted. That's the truth, unfortunately. Most artists are not born gifted, and yeah, that means we have to work doubly hard. Okay, I'm not sure about doubly hard because art students have a ton of assignments to do, but yeah, anyway, that aside, all the more reason for us to actually work even harder because we do not attend classes, we have no mentors and no classmates to share our work and receive constructive criticism, and we have no one there to show us the right direction, whether we're on the right path. So with that being said, here are some things I wish I knew starting off. 1. Know your fundamentals. Gosh, this is not why I watched this video. I know. It's the last thing you want to hear, believe me, it was the last thing I wanted to hear as well. But you have to go back to your fundamentals. Without fundamentals, how are you going to build a house without any foundation? Let alone your art skills for that matter. I used to think that I could run and learn how to walk along the way. Boy, did that not go well. It's just, yeah, sad truth. I used to get art critiques from my parents. My mom would be like, you know, my proportions were not right, it totally lacks contrast, stuff like that. I know, that's mom talk for ya. But feedback is what it is. It's the truth. I finally accepted the fact that I just had to know the basics. I learned it eventually. And reluctantly, I might add. Very reluctant. Very. But I had to say it. I have to give it to mom. She was right. My art skills just got better from there. And this doesn't matter for what sort of genre you're into. Realism, hyperrealism, caricature, impressionism, what else is there? Anime. Yeah, learning the basics will help you in the long run. That's fundamentals for you. Number 2, time. Okay, these are one of the biggest challenges you'll ever face in your art journey. It is so frustrating. It makes me angry just talking about it right now. For this, I don't think anybody can truly prepare you for how long it's going to take. We all know that it's not going to take overnight for you to be a master. Alright? We all love that movie of a sad underdog who has so many challenges in front of his life, and the amount of years it took for him to surpass all that, and he finally reached stardom. He eventually gets there. But to us, that's a 2-hour movie. Even though the movie says it took years, but for us, that 2 hours is suddenly the amount of time expected to be a novice artist to master skilled level. Of course, not literally 2 hours, but like, I don't know, 2 years maybe. It doesn't prepare you truly for how long it will take. It may be 5 years, it may be 10 years, it may be 20. Nobody can tell you, and that's the frustrating part. It is a constant battle within yourself. There'll come a time, scratch that, there'll come many times that you even start to question your own self-worth, that you feel like you're such a disappointment. You're not, like, your art skills is not going anywhere. You kind of look at your art and you just kind of feel like, I've been doing this for so long, I don't see any improvement. Screw it, man. I mean, if that's the best I can do, what's the point? You stop thinking that way, because right now, what's happening is you're the underdog in your own story, and these are the many challenges you will face. And if you decide to quit now, nobody will know how great your story is, not even you. I know it's easier said than done, but you have to push all these negative thoughts aside. You will get there eventually. It's gonna take a long time. That I will not lie to you. 3. Don't expect support from your friends. If you're kind of like me, serious about art, you make your own Facebook page, got your own YouTube channel, don't go into it thinking that your friends have your back, because that ain't gonna happen. Of course, there'll be like a handful of people who actually support you, but most of them will not even care. But that's okay. Art is something not everybody will fall in love with. It's an acquired taste, much like music. And you can't expect your friends, no matter how close they are, to be there for you for something that doesn't even interest them. Do you see how selfish that kind of sounds right now? You can't force someone to fall in love with something that they just don't. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're like me and your self-esteem and happiness is based on the like, comments, shares, and subscriptions, you are up for a very disappointing life. You will have this severe symptom of your face blowing up, getting all pasty white, and tears coming down all the time. It's called Forever Alone. And truth is, people will just scroll past. Yep. Okay, since we're in the topic of social media, just let you guys know that it works the same as time. You can't be an overnight sensation like Justin Bieber. I've seen some YouTubers that got their audience, big audience, like 5-6 years after they started, and that is a really long time. So it takes a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work. My advice, if you want to go into social media, do it because you enjoy showing people your artwork, and hopefully you get to share tips and help them along their own art journey, because you know how hard it can get. 4. Know where to learn and from who. I can't tell you how awesome the internet has been for people to be able to share their experience, their thoughts, and their knowledge to anybody in the entire world. That's how awesome the internet is. You got a lot of information out there for you to learn your art. It can be from art forums, art blogs, Patreon, art videos. Artists are willing to share their tips and tricks on how to get better. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to have filled with timeless videos with commentaries, and hopefully you learn something new. 5. Observe. Sometimes you can learn by other people's experience of what they're teaching, but most of the times you gotta keep your mind open. For it to look real, you have to understand things around you. You gotta sleep art, you gotta think art, you gotta eat art, you gotta shit art. Art is your life. Whoa, just got a bit carried away there. Art is like constantly in the back of your mind. It's always kind of like on autopilot. Your brain is constantly on art mode. When a light is cast on a human face, or maybe a cup on the table, where will the highlights be? Where will the shadow lay? How about light bounce? Rim lighting? How about colors? Texture? Transparency? Number 6. Don't get it perfect. When I first started getting serious about art, I was so engrossed in getting it perfect that I would spend a lot of time trying to do the finishing touches. If I thought that if I spend on it 5 minutes more, it would look that much better. It is true if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to learn from it. You will learn that much more in the next piece than you ever did trying to extend 5 minutes of your time with the last piece, because that's all you know. But starting on the next piece, it refreshes your mind. And I can guarantee that you will learn something new. It's only natural to learn through experience, and by doing more paintings, instead of being stuck in the last one, it will help a lot. You will learn a lot faster. You'll learn new things after each piece, and that is what will contribute to your art skills. 7. Don't wait for inspiration. I used to be like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and wait for inspiration to come to me. Yeah, that did not go so well. Art doesn't work like that. It's kind of like a muscle memory, but with creativity, and you need to exercise those muscles. The more art you come up with, the better your mind works, with creative wise, of course. Alright, you must be thinking, easier said than done, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know, it's not that easy coming up with inspirations, but give yourself art projects, for example. For me, I have this project called Malaysian Beauties, where I'm trying to raise awareness by painting animals that I can find in my local country. The amount of animals is practically endless. Maybe after animals, I'll move on to plants or sea life. Yeah, you just gotta have a project. For example, I've seen a lot of people do horoscopes, like female characters inspired by horoscopes. Aries, Sagittarius, Pisces, Cancer, goat, the chicken, the horse. Bam! 24 art inspirations for you, man. You're welcome. Then there are also natural elements: fire, water, wind, light, dark, or like mix animals with plants and see what you come up with. And that's how you exercise your creative muscles. 8. Practice. Ugh, not again. Yep, I know, another cliche. Practice makes perfect. It's cliche because it's the truth. My advice is bring a sketchbook wherever you go and draw as much as you can. If you draw on the times you do a real piece, then your progress is it's gonna be a lot slower. But I don't have time to just practice whenever. Well, what I do is I usually take a sketchbook, and whenever you go out for family dinners and then you have to wait for food to come on the table, that's when I start practicing. It's like little things like that, and slowly you get better at it. Okay, this is the last one. I know you guys are probably OCD thinking like, man, she should put 10, I'm sorry, I only got 9 tips for you today. I may make another video if I have more, but yeah, this is the last one. And I left the most important as the last. Don't limit yourself, and don't give yourself so little credit. This was one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made. I'm just glad that I caught up while I'm still at my young age. I follow this artist. Her name is Lisa Klo. She's the artist behind Le Cri Fine Art. She said something that totally changed my direction of art. Back then, I did okay art, and to me, that's all I could ever do. I could never improve. To me, that was my level. I just ended up saying that it's my style. If you paint something like that and it is what you want, then of course it's awesome because that is your style. But if you paint something and you just give an excuse that it's your style so you can sleep at night, that's when it goes horribly wrong. You're not being true to yourself. You better stop thinking like that right now. When she mentioned that, it totally opened my eyes, and it challenged me to start painting better, to challenge myself to step up. Back then in my head, I always feel like, man, I really wish I could paint like that, but I never tried. I limited myself, and I limited my own potential to what I believe was the maximum I could achieve that I never even tried. I have become my own worst enemy. After my eyes were open, I started learning new things, trying new styles. It's never been more fun. And suddenly my family started saying that my art has been improving. Friends started noticing. I felt like I could do anything in the world. With the exception of time though. Never limit yourself, because everybody has the potential to do that much more. Even though you're not studying art, you have the potential. Human beings are amazing, and we never let anything get in the way if we want it bad enough. That's all I'm saying. I hope that you found these tips helpful. If you do, please like, subscribe, and share to your favorite social media. And if you don't, you can like, subscribe, and share to your favorite social media either way. You can leave some comments, let me know what you think. And if you have your own tips to share, please feel free. I would love to read them. And see you guys in the next video. Ciao.